I have a lot of exciting, fun things for you tonight because I am bringing on a very good friend of mine who is the most inspiring person I know.
Wait, what about
Uh,
me? Chopped
you're the,
liver over here.
yeah, oh, you're
Okay.
the sweetest chopped liver I know. My guest, Mindy, has lost over 100 pounds while being on a Mounjaro journey. She has just completed a triathlon this weekend.
And I didn't.
Yeah, and you didn't. I didn't either. Oh my gosh. So anyway, without further ado, I am going to bring on the lovely Mindy, who on many GLP-1 circles, they like to call her Mayor Mindy. And she is a hoot and a holler and just so wonderful. And let's bring her on. What do I
No,
click on, Jeff?
this one.
There we go.
Okay.
Yay, Mindy. Woo woo. Wow, Mindy, you did a whole triathlon,
Yeah.
swimming, bike riding, running. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
I am so incredibly impressed.
Oh,
And this is a live. So if any of you have any questions for Mindy, please put it in the comments and we're going to be sharing your comments and answering any questions that you might have. If you also have had a win this week, share your wins with us because we love celebrating each other, especially in our Anchor Moments community. And you know what? That's a real important thing. People ask what's important to know about Mounjaro. And I think one of the most important things is you need to have a community. You need to have some people that you can talk to, that you can share experiences with, that you can ask questions with if you have a weird side effect and you're not sure if it's the Mounjaro or something else. I mean, of course, you always need to talk to your doctor for the important things.
we
And
are not
we're
doctors.
not doctors. I'm just your sister from another mister on a GLP-1 journey. And I've been taking Mounjaro for 88 weeks now. I have not lost as much weight as Miss Mindy. But boy, Miss Mindy, she's using her Mounjaro as a tool and she's doing a lot of fabulous things that's been helping her out. All right, Mindy, tell us about this weekend and your triathlon.
Yeah, so let's see. Actually, back in 2019, I had lost a lot of weight, and like a lot of us, I gained it all back eventually. But I had lost a lot of weight, and a friend of mine had done what they call a super sprint, a really short triathlon where you swim 200 yards, you ride your bike 8 miles, and run 2 miles. And I saw her do that, and I had just lost over 100 pounds, and I wanted to do it. So I trained to do it. I did it and then gained all my weight back. And
Oh.
so one of my goals had always been to not do what they call these super sprints where you swim in a pool and it's only ladies. It's a triathlon made just for women.
Okay.
A lot of women who it's their very first triathlon. But I had always wanted to do what they call a sprint, and that's where you swim in open water. So it's usually a lake,
Oh,
and
okay.
the swim is 750 yards. The bike is 20K, so around 13 miles. And then
Okay.
the run is a 5K, so 3.1 miles. And
Wow.
I always knew I could do the bike and the run, but the swim just had me so intimidated I don't know why, because I'm a decent swimmer, and in the pool I can swim thousands of yards. But when you look at that open lake and there's no line on the bottom of the pool to follow, there's no lane ropes keeping you safe where you're supposed to go. I
And
would
there's
get
critters.
we critters, fish,
Critters. You got
birds,
turtles and
bugs.
fish and bugs
Mhm.
and yeah,
Yeah.
critters.
And you can't see or touch the bottom. And when I was heavier, I could just sit still like this and float. but after losing 106 pounds now, I don't float so well. So
Yeah.
um, it was frightening. I would get out there and swim 50, 100 yards and be like, I'm done. I can't go anymore. I'm tired. I'm scared. I just want to go back. So it's been a long-term goal of mine. I've had several injuries where I had broken my ankle and I had broken a bone in my foot. And so
Wow.
I'd train up and then I'd get hurt and I'd train up. But this, I put it on my calendar and, forced myself to work towards that goal. And so yesterday, I had to get up real early. I had to be up at 4 o'clock to get to the lake. It's a little less than an hour away. And you get there, you set up all your stuff. They have racks where you rack your bike, and then underneath your bike, you put all your gear, your running shoes, your cycling shoes, your helmet, everything set up. And then I had to walk down to the lake, and they send you off in waves. So, there were some college groups that had their own race going on. They went out, then all the men in various age groups went out, and then all the women all at once. So
Wow.
there were, I don't know, 70, 80 women that just plowed into the lake and took off. And
Wow.
they have buoys set up, big inflatable orange buoys that you have to swim around. We had to swim out, make a turn, swim a little bit, make another turn, and come back. And I got to like the first buoy and I was really questioning my life choices because I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to swim. And they have kayakers and boats out there making sure everyone's safe. And the kayakers would be like, are you okay? Do you need to rest? Because you can go hang on them if you need to. You can't make forward progress,
nice.
but they kind of act like lily pads if you need them. I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm just trying to see where I'm going. I'll get there, And when
You got a lot of waves too. I mean, that's 80 women that you're in the water with. They're creating a lot of waves that you're trying to keep your head above water too, somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very splashity out there.
Yeah.
But once I made the turns and was on my way back, I was feeling a lot better. But the sun was in my eyes and I couldn't see where I was going. They had one of those wiggly guys out there, like they have at the car dealerships. And they're like, just look for that. And you head for that. I'm like, the sun is in my eyes. I can't see anything. So I kept asking the kayakers. I was like, am I headed the right way? They're like, yeah, just keep going straight. I'm like, okay, if I could go straight, I wouldn't be worried. But finally made it out of the water, found my shoes, ran to transition.
Wait, so 80 women are now getting out. They're swimming across this lake.
Yeah.
They're getting out, and you guys all have to scramble to find your shoes.
Yeah.
To get
well, a lot of
to
people.
The next thing.
Yeah, a lot of people do it barefoot, but I'm very tender-footed, and so I left sandals there to put on and run. There were probably, and I was, towards the end, there was another group of novices and men over 50 that went after us, but we were pretty much the tail end. So a lot of the shoes and everything were gone. There was one poor man that was like, I can't find my Crocs. I don't know where my Crocs are. But yeah, you have to climb out of the muddy, lake.
And you're wet.
You're soaking wet.
You would think the swimming would come last because you'd be so hot from riding the bike and running that you'd feel good to get in the water, but you're starting off soaking wet.
So there's a reason they do that. You sound just like my mom. She's like, the swim would be so refreshing. Well, first of all, it's not refreshing because it's hard work, but it's in the order of kind of how dangerous it is. Now you think about it. If you've just biked 20 miles and run 3, and then you get in the water and all of a sudden you're too tired, what happens? Right.
Yeah,
so
they don't want you to drown, I suppose.
Yeah. And also it spreads the group out, right? So everybody takes a different amount of time to swim. By the time you get back, the bikes are going out, onesies, twosies, because everybody's not coming back at the same time. So that allows the bikes to spread out. which then in turn allows the run to spread out. And so people aren't all crowded together.
So I got another question for you, because I haven't even really watched a triathlon before, and I might not be the only person
Oh, I'm
that's
sure
a
you're not.
triathlon virgin that really just knows you do 3 things but don't know how it looks. So are you swimming in the same outfit that you ride your bike and you run in? So it's one outfit, you're not having to change your clothes into a costume out of a swimsuit into.
Right. So my
Okay.
little I call it adult onesie that will show in the pictures. I'm wearing that. It's called a tri-suit, or we call it our kit.
Okay.
So it's one piece. It zips up the front. The short, well, it's all one piece, but the shorts part has what they call a chamois. So in my bathing suit area, so when you're riding the bike, there's a little bit of padding, but for triathlon, the padding is less than you would have on a pair of bike shorts, because you don't want this soggy diaper, so it's the least amount you need to still be able to ride your bike without being like a soggy mess. So yeah, you come out of the water and you have to get if you wear socks, you have to get your socks, and I wear cycle shoes. My pedals have a place where I clip my shoe into them. And so I'm not riding in sneakers. I'm riding in cleats, basically, that clip into my pedals. So when you're clipped in, you can push and pull. So you have a little more power. And, when you stop, you have to be able to unclip and put your foot down. That's always challenging when you first learn how to ride. But we all fall. Everybody falls. But once you get used to it, it's not a big deal. So yeah, you get on your bike, you go ride your 20K. It was a very, very hilly course.
Oh my gosh.
I actually passed a 16-year-old boy.
Yay,
So excited. I was like, dude, I'm 64. You're 16. He goes, I spent it all on the swim. I got nothing left.
Oh, well, yeah.
And
you got all that adrenaline too, and
Yeah.
you're trying to go as fast as you can.
Yeah. He finished after me, so that made me feel good, because he started before me, because he was one of the younger men. Yeah, so after you're done with your bike, you come back, you put your bike back on the rack, and then everything you need for your run should be waiting there for you if you've done your homework. So change into my sneakers, have to put on my bib, my race number. So I have an elastic belt that makes it so you don't have to. Some people have done 5Ks, like you pin your number to your shirt. We have a belt that it's already attached to. So we just throw that on, throw on my visor, grab my my hydration. I have a little handheld bottle that I carry, so I'd have something to drink. That's all prepped and sitting there waiting for me. And then you go off on the run. And then when you're done with the run, you come down the finish or chute, and you go through the timing mat, and they hand you your medal, and you're done. So a lot of races like this, everybody gets a medal. It's like, they talk about, you get a trophy, you get a trophy.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Everybody gets a trophy.
But it's a big deal. Even if you're the last person with the worst score, it's a big deal, because you did it.
Mm-hmm.
You did it. You swam in a lake that you can't see the bottom, that has critters in the lake. And then you climb out of that sopping wet and hop on a bike and ride, and then you're running 3 miles. Good grief. That's a lot. I think, if you can do that, you absolutely deserve a medal, no matter what place you get in. And now, so was it the belt that keeps time for you? Are you wearing that belt while you're swimming? Like, how do they know how long you do each thing, and what first, second, third?
Yeah, that's a good question. So especially since we all start at different times, right? You could finish before me, but if you started before me, you may not have beat me, right? So we wear a timing chip around our ankle. The race gives you
like
a timing
attached
chip
to your ankle, like a bracelet.
This one was different than I'd ever seen before. It was like piece of foam that had a piece of tape that you taped it to your ankle. So you tape it to your left leg because your chain and your gears are on the right side of your bike. So you don't want anything to get caught in that. So you always wear your timing chip on your left ankle. But yeah, that's how they know. And then there are timing mats in the transition area. There's a timing, they know what time they sent you out. And then there's the timing mat when you come back in from the swim and one when you leave. So they time your transition time too, how long it takes. So you want to do that as quickly as possible. So yeah, there's entrances and exits in the transition area for each thing, like swim in, bike out, bike in, run out, and then finish line. So yeah.
And are they handing you like electrolyte drinks or water or anything as you're going? You're just
on the bike,
flying.
no. Now for longer triathlons, yes, like a half Ironman or a full Ironman, yes. But for a sprint, there's nothing for the bike. There was a water station at the halfway mark for the 5K run. And there were two ladies at the turnaround, and because it was an out and back, and there was a cone with a sign that said turn around. And so when I went around it, I twirled around once, and then I said, it says turn around. So I twirled, and those ladies, they were cracking up. They're like, there's not even a photographer here. I'm like, I did that. I mean, you gotta have fun. And one of the things is to have fun. If you come up to somebody on your bike, or they come up to you, or on the run, not in the water, but you chat a little bit. Oh my God, this hill is horrible. Or, oh, I'm questioning my life choices right now. Or, one lady I kept leapfrogging with, because I wasn't as strong climbing as her, but I was fast on the flats or going downhill. So I'd pass her, then she'd pass me. So we exchanged names, we talked, we had a whole situation going on for part of the bike ride. But it's a very strong community. And I have just like I do here in GLP-1 land, I have a lot of friends that do triathlon. So there were a lot of people there that were cheering for me. Some of them were friends that were doing the race. Some of them were friends of those people that I didn't even know. And people were going, go, Mindy, go. And I'm like, I don't know that person, but thank you.
Yeah.
So it was a very emotional day. When I got to a mile and a half left, so after that turnaround on the 5K at the end, I just started to ugly cry. Because I knew I had done it. I knew, there's only a mile and a half to go. I can do that. I can run that far. And I just started boo-hooing. And I thought, the end, you kind of run through a greenway. So I'm in the woods kind of by myself. And I'm like, all right, you got to get yourself together before you get to the finisher chute. And everybody's crowded around cheering, So I'm like, oh, get it together, Mindy. And finished strong. One of my friends' husbands was standing near the finish line, and he said, come on, let's sprint the rest of the way, because I was slogging along by that time.
Oh, yeah. You'd have to be exhausted.
Yeah. So he sprinted me down to the finish. And then my best friend and one of my coaches, she was standing in the finisher chute with my medal to put it on me. She had asked the race people if she could do it, if they'd let her come stand in there and put the medal on me, and they let her do it. So then, of course, I was crying all over again. But
yeah. Oh, but yeah. That is so neat. You've been training for this for a long time now. How long have you been training all together to do this? Because this is your first triathlon, correct?
Well, it's not my first. I did those little baby sprint ones.
The little ones.
Yeah, but this is my first co-ed, men and women and open water. This is the first
in a
one.
lake.
In a lake. Yeah. And I was training I've been training. Well, I started doing triathlon in 2019, but, I did those few little baby ones, and then COVID hit, and, but I continued to train. Even when I was 271 pounds, I was still training.
I'm
And
so proud of you. And you know what? Mindy gave us some pictures of that,
mhm.
and we created a little slideshow. And so I want to thank Jeff for that
Yeah,
too.
thanks, Jeff.
We
And
really put all this
Sure.
together. Thank goodness I saw Mindy's Facebook post that she did the triathlon this weekend. I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I'm going to do tonight. I want to talk to Mindy. So we didn't have a lot of advance warning, but Mindy said yes, and we threw this together real quick.
yeah, so this in 2022, my coaches, they wanted me to get the experience of participating in an Ironman event. This was
Okay.
a half Ironman, so it's called a 70.3. The swimmer swims 1.2 miles. The cyclist cycles 56 miles, and the run is a half marathon, 13.1 miles. So normally one person does that all by themselves, but
Wow.
they signed us up for a relay so that I could get the experience of being in an Ironman race. And so this is me, all probably around then, I was probably about 250 something, finishing a half marathon.
I am
And
so impressed. So and so that's a half marathon. That's 13 miles that you're walking and running there.
yeah. So that was, and then this is, I think 2023 or two, a friend of mine, two friends of mine, well, my coaches were doing the Ironman Coeur d'Alene, that's in Idaho.
Okay.
And this is me there supporting them. Those aren't my coaches, those are two of my friends, but I thought this was a good example of me at another triathlon, but there's Chunky Mindy. She's chunky.
But
Um,
she's trying.
yeah, yeah. And I was training for
Yeah.
triathlon then too. I loved the training. I just didn't have the nerve to sign up for an event. And one other reason I couldn't do the open water swim was I just thought of this, to practice. When we practice in the lake, we wear a thing called a swim buoy.
Okay.
It's like a belt that you wear around your waist, and then it has a belt that comes off of it, and there's a float behind you. It's like an inflatable, it looks like a capsule.
Oh, okay. So you don't drown.
Well,
You get tired or a
I
cramp or
wouldn't
something.
drown, but it's mostly so that any other watercraft can see you.
Oh, not
'Cause
get you.
yeah, it's usually bright yellow. Now we usually have kayakers out there with us, but it is also, it's not truly a flotation device, but certainly you can hug it and it would keep you afloat. So it's kind of like a security blanket too. Well, I
Okay.
was so fat that I couldn't fit the belt around my waist.
Oh, okay. They didn't, because most people who are overweight like that aren't going to be running and swimming in something like that.
No. And I also couldn't find a wetsuit that would fit me. So I couldn't do an open water swim if it was going to be cold. So
Oh,
I needed a summer event where I wouldn't need a wetsuit, and I
okay.
needed to be able to get into the lake and practice, and I was too ashamed to tell people that I couldn't get my swim buoy belt around my waist anymore.
Oh gosh. That
It's
would be hard.
So yeah,
That would be hard.
that's my medal from the Lake Davidson Triathlon that I did.
Yay! Woo woo!
And I guess triathletes like to drink too, because it's also a bottle opener. Oh, it's dual purpose. So this is the outfit that we wear. I call it a grown-up onesie. This is me wearing the same outfit, but I did an event it's called the Diathlon. And it's because D'Angelo Williams, who's a former Carolina Panthers player, he and one of the other players, Sam Mills, who has passed away from cancer, he was my favorite player, but those two guys started a thing with the Panthers called Keep Pounding, and it was to bring awareness to cancer. Well, D'Angelo Williams' mom passed away from breast cancer, and he created this it's a duathlon because you just bike and run. There's no swim. But
Oh, okay.
since his name is D'Angelo, he calls it a diathlon. And I've done this event before, but I did it this year. I think it was either in July or August. And it's backwards from a triathlon. You run first. You run you run 3.4 miles because D'Angelo's number when he was with the Panthers was 34. And then
Okay.
you have the choice of cycling 23 miles, I think, because that was his number in college. You can cycle 34 miles because that was his number with the Panthers, or 53 miles because that's how old his mom was when she passed away.
Wow.
And he uses all that money to donate for women to get mammograms.
Wow.
And I call it the boob mobile, but the mammogram bus is always at the event too, and they do screenings right there if people want to get them.
Wow,
So
that's awesome.
I did that event. It's a fundraising event for his nonprofit.
Very cool. And it was a good training kind of thing for you too.
Yeah, it was perfect. And that's my coach putting my medal on me.
Oh, yay! That's cool.
And that's me. And this is a girl who just signed on with our team. And she had already signed up to do this. So she and I took a pic together.
Sweet.
And this another lady that's been on our team. She's not anymore, but she was doing the event. And she was my emotional support friend while we were waiting for the swim, because you stand there for like a half an hour waiting for it to be your turn to get in the water. So
Oh my gosh. Are you cold too? Because it's early in the morning?
Yeah, it was cold. And, at that point, we're only in that. We had to give up our sweatshirts and hoodies and stuff. So, yeah, we were a little chilly. And the water was only 70 degrees. So it was pretty cold.
So that's ice cold water you're getting into too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Which I still think would be very refreshing if it was like the second thing you did. If even it wasn't the last thing, but it was the second thing that you did. Oh my gosh. We got a bunch of people here cheering you on.
I know.
And we got Grant. He gave us a big hug with a super sticker.
God.
Thank you, Grant. Yay.
I do see a question. I just happened to see. It's probably not the first question, but so the writing of the numbers on my knees. So they do what they call body marking. And when you're in the swim, you're not really marked. Some races, they write your number on your swim cap. You have to wear the swim cap they give you. So like mine was purple, and that means that I'm in that women's group that all went out together. But they write my bib number. So I was number 136.
136.
And so they wrote 136 on my arms. But what they didn't realize was I didn't have my kit pulled up yet. I had this t-shirt on over, and I only had my kit on up to my waist. So they wrote my number here, but my kit comes all the way down to here. So you couldn't see it, but they write it on your knees too. Well, they write it on your thighs, but my kit comes down low enough that they had to write it on my knees. And then, of all things, they write your age on the back of your calf.
That's how you knew that kid was 16 years old, that boy that you passed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what that does is, if I were a competitor and I'm coming up and I see a girl in front of me and hers says 62, girl, haha. And if hers says 62, I know we're in the same age group, because it's 60 to 64 is one age group.
Okay.
So she's my competition. And then I know we started at the same time. I need to pass her if I want to win. Right. So that's one of the reasons they do it. So mm-hmm. But that's what those numbers are.
Very cool. Very cool. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Before we get to some of these other questions, I did a poll today because I really wasn't sure, what am I going to do my Mounjaro Monday on? I mean, it's been 88 weeks. I'm always trying to come up with something new or whatever. What do people in the Anchor Moments community, what would they like to talk about tonight? So I tried to put some different ideas out there. And then the fourth idea I wrote was other. And then I wrote, and please tell me what your other is in the comments, because, I'll do that on a future Mounjaro Monday. And Naturalista wrote that her question she'd like me to hit as a topic is, how do you break a stall when you're taking a GLP-1? And I thought, I remember months and months and months and months and months and months and months ago, you had asked me that on one of my Mounjaro Monday lives. And it was when I was doing really good. And I was still losing weight and things were coming off. And we had suggested to you that maybe you weren't eating enough. Because sometimes if you're eating too little or the exact same number of calories every single day and everything is the same, sometimes your body goes, oh, okay. And whatever the number of calories it is, it was a good number initially
Homeostasis.
to lose weight on, and you're losing weight on that particular number of calories. Yeah. And then all of a sudden your body goes, okay, we're kind of done with this. We know how many calories she's going to give us. We gotta hold on to our fat here. And you're not going to gain weight on that, but you're not going to lose weight either. You just kind of, go in for a while where you're just maintaining with whatever that number is. And so we had suggested to you that maybe you needed to eat a little more, or add a little variety in to change that, and to possibly meet with a registered dietitian and see if a registered dietitian would have some ideas for you. And so anyway, I'd like to hear, because you have broken stalls and you just keep going and do amazing things. And right now I'm in the opposite spot. And I thought, oh, that is such a good question, Naturalista, because I'm kind of dealing that myself. I've been on a stall for a few months now, and I'm on 12.5 milligrams of Mounjaro. So I know one thing I can do. I need a new doctor because my doctor retired. So I'm without a doctor at the moment. But one thing is to see if a doctor would let me go up to the next level, which is 15, is something that I could do. But what other advice do you have for people like me and Naturalista out there that's helped you get past your different stalls?
Yeah, so the team was right about looking at my calories, and especially with the kind of training that I was doing, because endurance sports do burn a lot of calories, and it's hard to balance that with being a diabetic too, because you need carbs, and I wasn't eating enough carbs. The dietitian I saw said, I know you've been eating low carb, and that's what the bariatric doctor, the obesity doctor, I didn't have bariatric surgery, but he's an obesity specialist. That's what he had put me on to, get my A1C in line. And she's like, Mindy, your A1C is great now. You don't need to be doing that anymore. And you have the help of Mounjaro. So, my A1C went from 10.9 to 4.7.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That is awesome. And anything above 10 is like scary stuff, because you can have all kinds of horrific health issues can happen when your blood sugar's that high consistently. So wow, to 4.7, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Anything 5.7 and below is in the normal range. So 4.7 is fantastic.
Yeah, it's actually on the lower side. There isn't such a thing as too low. I think maybe you get to 4, it's kind of bad, but my doctor won't let me go up in dose because she's like, you're already, borderline. So when I work out, I have to be careful because I can get hypoglycemic. And My insurance company won't pay for a CGM because I'm not on insulin anymore. I was when I first was diagnosed before I got on Mounjaro. So I just have to go by feel. And another thing that I've learned training is because the Mounjaro slows down your gastrointestinal system, carbs that I need for my workout, I have to eat sooner than I used to. Like if normally I would eat a half an hour before an activity or, take on more carbs at every 30 minutes, I have to stay further ahead of it because it takes longer to kind of get that into my system. But when I went to the dietitian, that's what she told me. And she added, I was eating about 1,600 calories a day. And everybody's different. So don't copy me. And I'm not a doctor. Gina's not a doctor. Jeff's not a doctor. But she, and at the time, I don't know, maybe I weighed around 170, 175 pounds. I'm 5'4". She wanted to have me eat 2,000 calories.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know. So she sent me to have a resting metabolic rate tested, my RMR, because I also have Hashimoto's disease, which is hypothyroidism, which can make people's metabolism very slow. So she was worried about recommending too many calories without knowing the answer to that question. And when she sent me to have that done, it came back higher than she thought it was going to, any of the online calculators or tools that she has. So my RMR was, I think, 1720. So you're not supposed to eat below that because that's the amount of calories you need if you're like in a coma. So she's like, all right, I'll bargain with you. You have to eat at least that much. And so she upped my calories, but all the calories she gave me were carbs. She's like, you're getting enough protein. I want you to add more carbs. So that's what I did. But that's the fuel that I needed for the workouts that I was doing. And that's really the only thing that I changed that kind of got me out of a stall. I think the other thing was just patience. I was I'm very rigid and I'm very, what is it? Dennis and I like to say, we're hyper compliant.
Hyper compliant. There you go.
So I am. And so that can get frustrating though, right? If you're kind of doing everything, but you're like, oh, that day I did this other thing and I ate that, or I didn't do my workout, or, you could ask my coaches. They don't have any athletes that do their workouts as consistently as I do. And I'm very consistent with my eating. And so when you're doing every single thing you're told to do and its scale's still not moving, it's really hard to be patient. But I really tried to be. I have all my friends that support me and remind me that, other things are happening, right? I could see that I was getting smaller.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, even though my scale didn't say my muscle to fat ratio changed, but I could see I was getting smaller. Clothes that I could wear all of a sudden were like falling off and stuff. So I just said, you know what? I'm kind of happy where I am too. So if it doesn't change, it doesn't change. I'm doing what I need to do to be healthy. And I just stuck it out. I think in the past, why I failed, because I've gained and lost 100 pounds. This is the third time. And in the past, I couldn't get to where I wanted to go. I would get to a certain point. I think the last time I'd gotten to maybe 180. And I wasn't happy with that. It was great, but I wasn't happy. And when I tried and I couldn't move the needle, then I was just like, well, forget it. And then, instead of being kind of normal about it, the pendulum swung the other way. And so I think having the Mounjaro in my brain, helping me to not get so emotional about food and, use it as a crutch and, be able to stick to the program. I think sometimes you just gotta, it's a waiting game and you've got to tell your body like, no, I am the captain now. And this is, you're gonna give in eventually, and I'm gonna win, So I just really eating more, yes, and then sticking to the plan and waiting for it to happen. And I still haven't lost all that much. I mean, when we went on the cruise, I had finally hit 100 pounds, and now I'm at 106 pounds. And actually, that's been what, July, August, it's been like 2.5 months, and I've only lost 6 pounds. So, but I'm close to my goal. I hit my original goal, which was 165. And now I'm like, well, I still need to lose weight. So I adjusted my goal, but I'm very happy at this size, the things that
You
I
look
get to do.
great.
Oh, thanks.
And you can do that whole triathlon,
Yeah.
all 3 pieces in one day. You could even beat a 16-year-old boy. That's pretty
Exactly.
huge.
That made me feel pretty good.
Yeah.
I see Margarine is asking, how do I feel now that it's over? And am I sore or extra tired? I've done workouts that are harder than this race. The weekend before, I rode my bike 23 miles and ran 1.5 miles after that. That's way more effort than this race was, but putting 3 sports together like that is a different kind of hard. But I wasn't sore or extra tired. I had to be up really early, so I did go to bed early last night. I think I went to bed at 8 o'clock. But today I feel fine. I'm starting weightlifting today. I hung up my goggles and helmet and sneakers for a while. I'm not doing triathlon for a while. I'm going to work on my body composition. So I started weightlifting today, and also making sure that I get in 8 to 10,000 steps a day. So I hadn't quite gotten all my steps in. I did my weightlifting, and I walked on the treadmill for 20 minutes at work. We have a nice gym. And then I came home and ate dinner. And when Taisha went live, I took my phone with me and went out for a walk and listened to the live while I was walking. So I got over 10,000 steps in today. So I still had energy to do all that. So I think I'm doing fine. Barb is silly. She's saying I'm tiny. What's Darian got to say? What kind of foods do you eat when training? Oh, I don't want Darian. Don't want a Mounjaro spanking from carb loading. A lot of people here, like marathon runners or triathletes, talk about carb loading, right? So that's a really good question, Darian. Carb loading, people talk about having a big pasta dinner the night before, right? And that's too late. You have to make sure your tank is full, like at least the week before. And so this was a really hard thing for me to do. Training, I could be a little more easy about it. I didn't have to be so rigid, but knowing that I was doing a race, a couple of my bigger training sessions, I worked on what my nutrition was going to be for the race. And I also, during the week up to my race, so all last week, I made sure that I hit, because I'm bad about hitting those carb goals. I'm just so used to eating low carb. I made sure, even if I went over in my calories for the day, and I went over my calories every day last week, and that was my goal, to go over my calories.
When it's stored.
Yeah, I needed to have, and I knew I was going to gain weight too. I don't even think I gained 2 pounds. I maybe gained 1.5 pounds, but I knew I needed it. Right. And so I had to let go of that mindset. But the things that triathletes usually use for fuel when we're racing or training, it's all carbs, right? It's usually goo that comes in a pack. It's like almost like a gel that's just all carbs. Energy beans, so they're like jelly beans, but they've got other like electrolytes and stuff in them. Some people put it in their hydration, so they'll have calories in their hydration. But I like to keep, because I'm diabetic, I like to keep my hydration and my nutrition separate, because I can be more, I think,
Deliberate.
more precise and deliberate.
Precise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a short race, it some people did it probably in an hour. It took me 2 hours and 19 minutes. But
Amazing.
for that duration, you don't need too much on board. It's 2.5 hours of working out. So in the morning I ate a protein bar and some jelly beans. I use those. And then about an hour before my swim, I ate some more jelly beans and a meat stick for protein. And then I made little Ziploc bags for when I got to the bike. I downed some more jelly beans for carbs. And then I had another pack of jelly beans in my hydration handheld that I ate while I was running. And I was trying to dump them in my mouth, and I dumped them a little too hard. And these are bigger than like Jelly Belly. They're made by Jelly Belly, but they're bigger than those jelly beans. And they got one stuck in my throat. And I'm in the woods all by myself, and I'm like, get it down or up. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, 2 miles away from finishing this race, and I'm going to die from choking on jelly beans.
Oh, no.
I finally got it to go down.
Yeah.
So silly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Let's see what other.
Where's my glasses? So I'm trying to put some of these on here. Well, we got Denise in the house. Hey, Denise. And Harjaline's here. Oh, yeah, I'll take those. Just any glasses that I could see here. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, she wrote, "Oh, lovebirds." She liked it when I gave you a little swoop.
So, Barb asked, can you wear a camelback when you do this? So obviously you couldn't wear a camelback during the swim. Camelback is like a vest that has a bladder in it that you can fill with your hydration. And then it's got a little tube that sticks out, and you can, bite down on the tube and drink. So I have some friends that wear that on the bike. But or for longer races, that half marathon you saw me finishing, I had a hydration vest on, because for 13 miles, I had 2 liters of water on my back. But on the bike, I have this water bottle, and it's in a cage on the down tube of my bike. So while I'm riding, I reach down and grab it, drink, put it back. For the run, the water bottle's not in it because it's in the sink waiting to be washed, but I have this that it fits over my hand, and there's a flask in here that has like 18 ounces of water. That's plenty for a 5K. If it's longer than that, then I would wear a hydration vest. So yeah, good question.
Wow. And you're probably sweating enough that you don't have to pee during all this time either, because that's 2.5 hours,
Yeah. No, so it's funny. We were all waiting to get in the water because we all had to pee.
I'm glad it was a lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gross enough already.
There you go.
Yeah. Triathlon is gross. It is.
Hey, we got Dennis in the house. Hey, Dennis. Haven't seen him since the cruise. So fun.
Yeah. Darian was talking about Medal Monday. So in endurance sports, we call Mondays Medal Monday. It's not Mounjaro Monday. It's Medal Monday.
It's Medal Monday. All right.
You show off your medal. I took it to work and showed it to everybody. One of my friends says, "You're crazy. You literally paid money to go run."
Yeah.
Because you paid to do this. It's like, you paid to do that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hey,
I used to ask Gina questions like that. "Oh, you're doing a half marathon. Oh, good. What are you raising the money for?" "Nothing."
I know. I did the rock and roll marathon, half marathon twice.
You just have to pay them.
Yeah, it was weird because usually I was doing like 5K kind of things before I did the rock and roll marathon, and those 5Ks were always for either breast cancer or leukemia or I did a diabetes one before, and I didn't even have diabetes at the time. I was always doing ones that
Raising money for
that would
good
raise
cause.
money for good causes. So I'd tell Jeff on a Saturday morning, "Oh, I'm leaving you. I'm going to do a." But I never ran, Mindy. I never ran. I walked in all of those. And I was chubby. I was chubby too. And I walked chubby in those. And then when I did the rock and roll half marathon, it was the first one I ever did that wasn't raising money for anything. The money we paid was for, they had rock and roll bands that you could, that you would buy different mile markers that you would go past, and it paid for our food and water and that kind of thing. But it didn't go towards a charity. But he thought that was really weird. Like, why are you doing that? It's not even raising any money. I'm like, because I was training with a friend like you. I had a friend like you, my friend Pam. She was really into it, and she had one of the from the couch to a rock and roll marathon, half marathon or whatever, and we would do training walks together. And so it was a fun activity. But I never ran even the 13 and a half miles. And I remember at mile 10, I was thinking, why do I let Pam talk me into this? My feet hurt. And I'd see the little vans that would go by where you can quit and just get in the van and go, just take me to the end. I don't care anymore. But I will say, I never took the van of shame.
Good.
I always, because my mother, who was, older than me, also would do it. And she would train in Illinois while I was training in Arizona, and she'd come out for it. And my daughter, who was in high school at the time, she did it too. And so we had 3 generations in there. And by golly, I knew my mom would never take the van of shame. And if I did, I wouldn't live it down.
Oh, yeah,
so
no.
I made it. I made it to the end. But I only did it twice, and I got my medal. So, but yeah, so I'm so impressed by you, what you're doing. Oh my gosh. And swimming and bike riding and running. Oh my gosh. Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
We want to catch up on some comments.
Yeah, we got to catch up on some comments here. Hey, and we got Vanessa in the house. Another one of our cruise buddies. And Grant says that's amazing. And we got Barb too. She says, I'm loving the Mare and Triathlete label. Fabulous. Yes, with Mare Mindy. And Harjarine says, that question, but you answered about, because today is the day after and you feel okay. Wow, that's some good training that you're not super sore today. And Barb says, look how much smaller Mindy looks from the cruise. All that working out. Oh my gosh, she's tiny too. Yes, she is.
Not tiny, but
yes, you are. And we've got Robin Lockwood in the house, and she's saying hey to everybody. And Vanessa says she's muscular and petite at the same time. There you go.
Thanks, Vanessa.
And then you answered it's Darium's question. And Darium, you need to email me, bud. I would love to have you as a guest on our show. So if you can email me, Gina at anchormoments.com. I would love, love, love to have you on. And I'm free next Monday if you are. Darium, I think that you would be a hoot and holler good time to have on. And we got Denise in the house again. She liked Darium's question. And everybody is saying hi to everybody.
And Mindy, you never had a Mounjaro spanking from trying to preload the carbs. Is that correct?
No, I did not.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
The technical term.
The technical term. That's what I call it. A Mounjaro spanking. In 88 weeks, I've had 3 Mounjaro spankings, and you remember them. And when you eat something when you're eating where it's too rich, it's too rich and heavy, and wake you up in the middle of the night and send you running to the bathroom. Hey,
Thanks
we got, well, just in case someone goes,
Robert.
Mounjaro spanking, what's that? If you have one, you know. And we got Journey of Life in the house. Yay! And Barb says, I'm so filled with admiration, Mindy. I cannot for the life of me imagine running, biking, and swimming in 1 week, much less 1 day.
Coming from Barb, that's high praise, because Barb walks miles just to get to the gym, then work out at the gym, and then walk home. So she knows what it's like to work out. She's tough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Barb's walking like what, 6? I think she does like 6 miles a day. Seriously.
Yeah. She's
Barb
a crazy
is
lady.
amazing. And Journey of Life, she wants a trophy too. And you know what? You can get one Journey of Life. All you got to do is complete a triathlon, and you can have one too. Wait,
or you can win the trivia contest on the Downside Cruise.
I was wondering, where did you go?
Yeah.
It was just over there. I had to run get it. And that's Barb's question.
Yeah, that you answered. And hey, we got Mark in the house. Hey, Mark.
Another
one
friend.
of our cruise buddies. Yay. And let's see.
Dennis.
And we got Cindy, Taz the Bulldog's mom in the house. Oh, thanks, Cindy. She said, Gina, you look absolutely beautiful. That was so sweet. Yay, thanks. I get my hair done once a month, and I always do it on a Monday. So 1 out of 4 isn't too bad. Oh, goodness. And Cindy says, my brother did the Ironman in Hawaii several years ago. That's awesome. Congrats. Ooh, that'd be a fun one because it'd be so beautiful.
The Ironman. So Ironman in Kona is the World Championships.
Ooh,
so you have to qualify to do that. It's very tough, and it is a tough race. It sounds beautiful, but it is a tough race. It's always very hot. It's very hilly. It's a very challenging race. So that's a huge accomplishment.
Oh yeah, that would be, just even to be able to play in it. And we got everybody saying hi to each other. And Cindy says, you inspire me, Mindy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and you inspired Denise too. Oh, Denise is giving you the trophy emoji.
Yeah.
Woo woo. Oh, and Barb says, you're making me cry with happiness, Mindy. I know, we're just so proud of you. And we got Melanie in the house too, saying hi to all of us. Hey, Melanie. Yep. Congratulations, Mayor Mindy, on Medal Monday from Stellarium.
Is it metal like you?
Well, this particular medal is made of metal, so it can be either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's the day after she completed it. You wear it to work on Monday.
Yeah, but is it the metal with a D or metal with a T?
I know what Jeff's saying.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's doing a dad joke.
Thank you, King Darium.
Yes. Yeah. And Barb says, I cannot even imagine running at 250 pounds. That is incredible.
It wasn't pretty. When I got done, I was in the finisher chute, and my coaches were on the outside of the wall, and they were talking to me, and all of a sudden, my vision was getting smaller and smaller, and I passed out.
Oh my gosh.
I gave everything I had, and they took me back to the medical tent, which conveniently is right at the finisher's chute. And my blood oxygen level was low. They were about to give me an IV, and I was like, this might be a Mounjaro spanking. I wasn't on Mounjaro at the time, but all the gels and goos and sugar I'd eaten all of a sudden decided it didn't want to be with me anymore. And so I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And so they had to let me go, and they couldn't give me an IV. But yeah, I passed out in the medical tent. So 250 pounds, 5'4", 250 pounds. So if you're 6'4", maybe it's okay. But 5'4", 250 something pounds, you probably should not be trying to run a half marathon.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that would be tough.
But I'm
Oh.
stubborn.
Yeah.
That's why I'm successful.
Yeah, Robin says she's very determined.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Aw, Journey of Life thinks you're incredible too, and so do I. Hey, we got downsized in the house. There we go, Mindy. And Mindy, I want you to know I have booked our cruise for next year with the downsized. I paid the down payment, and we're next door roommates with you again.
You have got to be kidding me.
No,
So
so
funny.
another year that you're going to be next to Jeff and Gina.
You better keep it down over there. That's all I got to say.
And everyone's saying hi to each other on. And Barb says, wiping tears that won't stop. I know, we're just so proud of you, Mindy. And Journey of Life says, oh, Barb, that's okay. You're happy for your friend. And it looks like she's crying too. Oh, I'm just so in awe. Me too. And it's Darium says, Mayor Mindy is a bad mama jamma. And yeah, Barb says, look how tiny she is. And Grant says, what's the purpose of, oh yeah, because you answered Grant's question.
And why are they written on
the number on their knees so they know their age? So that
well,
way,
hopefully the number
in front of you.
You're 136.
The number on my knee. The number on my knee is not my age. That's my bib number.
Oh, I thought it was okay. I was thinking, but didn't they write your number on the back? Oh no, it's on your pad.
My age, don't I?
Yeah, you look amazing for 136.
Yeah.
That's
great. Doing great. The Mounjaro is just so
life-giving.
We're not doctors, though. We're not.
Yeah. I might grow a third eye, but I look young.
There you go. Oh,
you guys are funny.
Your life says, you said it, Darium.
Darium's a troublemaker.
Oh, and thanks, Darium. He says, please be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate that big time. It's Darium. Yep, because when you do hit the like button, more people will be able to be cheering Mindy on and see this video. So thank you so much. And Journey of Life says, oh man, I need to start putting in more effort into my exercise. Mayor Mindy is putting me to shame. Me too.
I have a saying that I've been trying to promote lately, and that is everybody is different and every body is different.
That is very true.
So what I do has nothing to do with what anybody else does. And I was almost about to say this, so I guess I'll say this now. You know, you guys are all so kind and so supportive, and you're all impressed by what I've done. But I hang out with triathletes, and most of my friends have done one, if not multiple, half Ironmans or full Ironmans where you swim 2.4 miles. You bike 112 miles.
Oh
you run a full marathon. And, you know, I have friends that are in the same day. So you'll get up in the morning and you'll be like, oh, you know, Joe headed out he's in the swim. Okay, well, I guess I'll go to church. You know, you go to church, come back. Not that I go to church, but you would go to church. Yeah. Go to church, you come back, you're like, oh, Joe's out of the swim. He's out on the bike. Okay, well, let's go to brunch. Okay, come back. Joe's still on the bike. He's almost done. Oh, let's have dinner. Oh, I think Joe's on the run now, you know, because you could track them on an app. And you're like, wow. Joe, I know you're still out there, but dude, I got to go to bed. And Joe's still out there running his marathon. I mean, I've done that before with my friends, especially if it's like a West Coast race. I'm like, dude, I feel really bad, but I got to go to bed now. Because they have, I can't think. It's 15 hours, I think, to finish it. I can't remember, but it's something like that. So, you know, if you're back of the pack, you could be out there all day. Wow. So you guys, you know, thinking that what I did is amazing. That just proves that everybody's different and every body is different. For me, this was a huge accomplishment. But
Huge.
for most
For
of my
most people in the world, Mindy, for most people, that would be a huge accomplishment.
yeah, but for many of my friends, it would be like you going for a walk around the block. I mean, it's nothing. So that's just proof that everybody's different and every body is different. And so
I like
we
that.
have to
So,
find we have to find what's that next thing. How can I add a little bit more to what I'm doing?
whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can walk 1,000 steps a day today, maybe next week you say, you know what, I'm going to try to do 1,100 steps a day for a whole week. You don't up it any more than that. And if that starts to be easy, then the next week, or maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, you say, okay, maybe it's 1,200 steps a day. That's I was out on my walk today while I was listening to Taisha, and an older gentleman, although I don't think he was much older than me, came walking down the sidewalk with a walker and what looked to be his wife with her arm around him. He had a ostomy bag hanging from his walker, and he was out there walking. So what's my excuse, right? He may have only walked, 100 yards. I don't know where he went or where he went back to, but that
He was
was
doing his best.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we all have to figure out what's our next best thing we can do. And
Oh, I
what
like that. What is our next best thing? That is really good. That is really good. We just do a little bit more
yeah,
than what
increment.
we did before, what we did yesterday. If we do just a little bit more. And Barb says, I honestly cannot imagine doing this kind of body work. I'm not a wuss, but I'm sitting next to Mindy. And Journey of Life says, ugh, that wetsuit not fitting is embarrassing. It happened to me. Oh, and they're hard to get on too.
Yeah.
I used to take my Girl Scouts. We used to surf at Camp Surf in San Diego, California, and it was really hard because I don't know if they made wetsuits bigger than the wetsuit I had, and it was so hard putting that puppy on. But I would do it so I could get out in the water with the girls. But it was hard, and I always had to get the men's size because the women's size was already, I was too big than a woman's size wetsuit. So I used to have to get a big men's wetsuit. So it always kind of hang kind of funny. But
And triathlon wetsuits are different from scuba wetsuits. They're thinner. And so they're made just for triathletes. So they come in even smaller sizes.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Barb is right about 1,700 calories, right? That's with me doing the kind of workouts that I was doing.
Yeah.
So I have to rethink that now, right? Because I said I'm not going to train for triathlon anymore. I'm going to do weightlifting, and I'm going to do more slow burn cardio. So like zone 2, get my heart rate up a little bit, but not, extreme. And so I'm going to have to see how that's going to work out.
Will you go back again and try to have them measure your resting metabolic rate?
Yeah, I doubt it's changed much. It hasn't been that long. But the amount of exercise I'm doing, I'm going to have to keep an eye on how many calories I'm burning and see if I need to adjust. And also, news alert, tomorrow I'm going to get a DEXA scan. So we're going to see if my baseline for when I start. I mean, I started today.
But before you start doing the weightlifting, actually, I'm so glad, Mindy, I like talking to you when I'm next to Jeff and get him to do things that he doesn't normally do, like go on a cruise. And he doesn't know it.
I don't know where this is going.
He doesn't know where this is going. But I'm glad you're talking about the DEXA scan and doing the thing to find out how many calories you're burning while resting. and finding out those real numbers for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think I want for Christmas this year from Jeff is I need to find a new doctor because I can't have my current doctor. He retired. His replacement quit after a few months.
Not because of us.
Not because of us. I think it's because Arizona was too hot and he probably wanted to move.
Oh yeah,
Move back to cooler weather. But so I am without a doctor, so I've got to find a doctor. But I'm going to ask whoever my new doctor is. I would like to get a DEXA scan done, and I would like to get the resting heart thing done.
Resting metabolic rate.
Yeah, and I have my left shoulder might be partially frozen. I haven't had full range of motion in it since I babysat my grandson for a month in December, and it's not getting any better. And so anyway, I need to get that taken care of too. And I want to start lifting weights. I just keep thinking I'm going to, and I don't. I'll swim, I'll walk, but I haven't really been doing the lifting of weights. But I thought it'd be kind of neat to get my DEXA scan done right before I start lifting weights, and then do it again, after like 6 months or a year, and see what differences have been made. And I really want to know what my resting metabolism is.
Yeah, so usually places that do the DEXA scans also do the resting metabolic rate. So you could probably get like a combo deal. Look for Groupons because they do them often. So
okay, so I can look for a Groupon because I know it's not cheap, and I'm sure my insurance probably would not cover it. But yeah, but it's something I'd like to know. So it'd be
if you have FSA or HSA, you can usually use that to pay for it, though.
Oh, we do have some of that. Back from when Jeff was working, and we haven't used it. It's waiting for an emergency or something. But we could maybe try that. That's good to know. But thanks, Mindy. I was thinking I got to talk to Jeff about this. I'd watched some of Dee Dee was doing some stuff about it loosely. Yes. And I was thinking, I'd like to do that too. And I'd like to have Dee Dee be a guest on my show as well.
Thank you.
Oh,
Robin. I told her before we started, Robin, take your shot.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just going to.
Oh, yeah. Oops a doopsie. Yep, you guys. I forgot that I even had to do my shot today. I've just been so enthralled by hearing your story, Mindy.
Oh,
let's see. I think I'm going to do my arm today. There we go. I'll do it right now so I don't forget.
12.5.
Yep, my 12.5 milligrams. Take off the cap. There you go. Got to do that first or it'll break, which is expensive and upsetting.
Unlock it.
Unlock. Twist. And you to do it on the fatty part of your upper arm. And this is where my most fat is. A lot of people, it looks like it'd be like right here. And you could do it there if you want. But I talked to my pharmacist to be sure that this was okay. And they said, yep, wherever the fat is in your upper arm, that works. Because the fat is the fat.
There we go.
There we go. Dun, da, da, da. And couldn't feel it at all. Yay.
Thanks, Robin.
Thanks, Robin.
Yeah, good job, Robin. It takes a village.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness. Hey, we got Anna in the house, too. Hi, Anna. And Journey of Life says she was in Catalina Island in Los Angeles. And she said, I got it on for my kiddos because I was a camp leader for outdoor science school.
What we do for our kids.
It's amazing the things that we'll do for our kids. That's right. Oh, my goodness. And that was the only reason I was wearing one. That's for sure. And Barb says you do not get an RX for a BioDexa, a prescription for it, Gina. The DEXA a doc prescribes is a bone density one. Yeah, I've had my bone density one, and I have good bone density. But the BioDexas are out of the medical system. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then I don't. Yep, then I just gotta.
But look at the next comment.
But she says it is cheap to do a BioDexa. Mine has been $125 each time, and that's not too bad.
Yeah,
she
I think
does
I got mine with a Groupon for like 79 or something like that.
really.
I'll
Yeah.
look for that.
Yeah, but look for that.
It's just-
Now I did have a bone density scan and I have osteopenia.
Oh, okay.
But it's not from Mounjaro. It is because I have Hashimoto's disease.
Okay. That would make sense.
Thanks,
All right.
Harjareen. I love
Yeah, thanks for coming,
Harjareen.
Hadreen. She says Mindy's an amazing woman, and she is. And Journey of Life said, I wanted to do my arm today and became a chicken. Ended up doing my tummy again. Gina, that didn't look too bad. I'll do my arm next time. Really, it's not too bad at all. So long as you're putting it in the fat of your upper arm, wherever that fat is at, that's where you can put it. And it didn't hurt. It's all good. And Barb says, I have osteopenia too from the gastric bypass not absorbing calcium. Okay, that's important to
Yeah.
kind of know that too. All
Did we make
right.
it?
We made it through all the now we need to see who
There's your phone.
Who
our
you're
winners are of most engaged here.
Well, you're all winners.
Oh, you guys are all winners. But who are the 3 people who get to wear a crown today? And our crown winners are, let's see, in the top fans. So 3rd place was Robin Lockwood. Yay! 2nd place was Barb, Health at Any Cost. And the number 1 was Grant Campbell.
right, Grant.
Yay, Grant. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in today. If you'd like to be a guest on future Anchor Moments, just email me, Gina at anchormoments.com, and we would love to have you. And if you didn't catch how to write that or anything, it's in the description where you can click it and it will take you there. All right. Yeah. Woohoo. Robin, wear your crown. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Oh, and thanks again, Mindy. You were amazing. We love you. Hold on to your anchor moments and make it a great day. Bye-bye.